Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2004 classic horror comedy Shaun of the Dead. The film is co-written by Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright, directed by Edgar Wright, and stars Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Kate Ashfield, Lucy Davis and Dylan Morgan. Now, the film follows Simon Pegg's Shaun. He's in a really dull job. He lives with Nick Frost's character, Ed, who is a real layabout. His life's going nowhere. He's going to the pub every night. He's got a girlfriend, Liz, who is wanting more. He basically ends up losing her on the eve of a zombie apocalypse. He wakes up the morning after determined to sort his life out. However, there's a few zombies that are getting in the way. So he comes up with the plan to go and rescue his mother, his girlfriend, and head to the local pub to wait for help. As you could imagine, things don't exactly go according to plan. Right, what are my thoughts on Shaun of the Dead? Well, I thought I would revisit the Cornetto trilogy. These films are classics. They're all different flavours, hence the Cornetto. They've all got different strengths, all this kind of stuff. But they are just so fabulous. The Cornetto films, the Cornetto trilogy. So I wanted to revisit them, and Shaun of the Dead is the first in that series. Now, this, when it came out, I think was a revelation in many ways, and it's actually a very, very important film, because it completely revitalized the zombie genre. It really did kickstart a revitalization and interest in this, in the zombie genre. So much so that George A. Romero, when he saw this film, was so impressed with the work that it kind of inspired him to do more of his franchise. So he went on to do Land of the Dead, and he offered a cameo to Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg in that film. And if you're not sure where they are, you can spot them quite easily in Land of the Dead, and it's quite a funny cameo. They basically play two zombies in that. So, I mean, that's the ultimate compliment when George A. Romero was kind of like, I love what you're doing, guys. Can you come and do a cameo in my film? So it is definitely a very, very important film. But even if it wasn't, it's a bloody good film. The perfect blend of horror comedy, you know. You hear me say this a lot whenever I'm reviewing a horror comedy. It's a difficult blend to get right. Really it is. There are some fine examples out there of how to do it and to do it properly. And this is right up there with one of the finest examples. I mean, the very core of it, it's hilarious. It's full of really relatable and likable characters. Both Simon Pegg and Nick Frost characters, Shaun and Ed, they're so likable, they're so relatable, and so frustrating as well at the same time. You want to throttle them really sometimes, but they are just so memorable as characters, and it just works really in that sense. The fact that you've got these two complete and utter wasters and layabouts thrust into this zombie apocalypse. What I also really like about this film is the fact that it follows Shaun's story, this essentially loser. But you're also introduced in this film to another group who reflect Shaun's group. So you've got Shaun, his girlfriend, Ed, and the other people that come along, Diane and David and stuff. And there's another group that mirror them that are actually on a much more worthwhile quest to kind of save humanity, not just head to the pub and have a few pints. And that's the heroic story. We never get to really see that. We get to see Shaun's story, with this moronic plan just kind of making it up as he's going along. Whereas the other group of people, are probably doing things sensibly. A non-comedy version of Shaun's story, if you like. So there's a different story out there that we never get to see. We just follow Shaun's incompetence in this film. As I said, it's so smartly written, this as well. You can tell that it's written with such affection for the genre, such affection for these type of films, as all the Cornetto trilogy are. This is a love letter to horrors and zombie movies. Hot Fuzz is a love letter to action movies, and The World's End is a love letter to science fiction. So they're all kind of different love letters to genres that they absolutely adored growing up. That's very, very clear that they pay so much respect to the genres that they are parodying, really, for the most part. It's surprisingly gory as well, this film. You don't expect it to be. You expect it to kind of not be as gory. The scene where David gets pulled through the pub window and he gets torn to pieces, obviously is ripped straight from, again, George A. Romero's movies. Dawn of the Dead, I believe it is, that one with that military captain. That savage military captain gets pulled through the door and ripped to pieces, and they pull all his innards out. So again, this film tips the hat to that, to George A. Romero's work, sort of thing. So there's quite a bit of gore in here as well, that I think works tremendously in the film, because you don't expect it to be. There's some brilliant shots as well, as like one shot where there's no cut. It's just one long shot where he's going to the shop the morning of the zombie apocalypse, and he's hungover. He's not woke up properly yet, so he's walking to the shop, and you can see these zombies are over there, but he doesn't notice them. He goes in the shop, he slips on some blood on the floor, doesn't notice. He opens the thing to get a can, there's bloodied handprints on the thing, doesn't notice, and just wanders back to the shop with his drink and Ed's Cornetto. It's a brilliant, brilliant shot. The fact that we're all kind of, and essentially what the film's saying, not just there, but with the opening title sequence as well, that we're all kind of zombieing our way through life, if you like, in many, many ways. So, yeah, it's really good. I mean, apparently as well, while kind of researching a bit of info for this film afterwards, they were talking, and there was a plan that they were going to do another one. They were going to do more of these films where it's like a different monster each time. So the next one was going to be, they were considered like From Dusk Till Shaun, and it would have been vampires, but it never came about. They decided that this film was kind of perfect as it was, and they didn't want to kind of do that. But there was a possibility there that we were going to get a different Cornetto trilogy, perhaps, where we had different versions of monsters for Shaun to take down in his movies. I personally think the idea of doing a From Dusk Till Shaun film with vampires would have been genius, and I would still like to see that, but Simon Pegg has consistently said through the years in interviews that he won't ever do sequels to this. Hot Fuzz, The World's End, Paul, anything like that. He just doesn't want to do them, and he doesn't see the point in doing one. And he's right, really, but we can hope, really, that maybe one day he'll sell his soul and give us a sequel, certainly to this, if not all of his Cornetto trilogies. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. What are your thoughts on the Cornetto trilogy? What are your thoughts on this film in particular? And I look forward to bringing you loads more content on the channel very, very soon.